Ladies and gentlemen, it is me, Mr. EMP, Fre3 Make Plays TV, and today we are for Raw Super. Today is episode 3 of the Raw Supercast, and we are the Raw Super Collective. I have my partner, my cousin, pretty much my brother, Fre3 here with me. How you doing, Free?
I'm doing fine, cousin. Thank you for having me. Always lovely being here. How are you?
Oh yeah, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. DNF Duel Beta is here, and the King of Fighters Beta, but DNF Duel Beta is here, so I'm doing all right. And then, of course, we got our first guest here for Raw Super, HM01 Cut himself, Auron the Fruit Snack Slayer. How you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. I appreciate you all for blessing me with the opportunity to be here to talk about this beta.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear this beta? This beta. The Fruit Snack Slayer is not pleased. Somebody go get him some Welch's so that we can bring the mood up for him. Cause he gonna need it. He gonna need it. Cause we talking nothing but DNF Duel today. We are having a good time doing so, even though not everything that we talk about is going to be good. Not everything about the beta has been great. As a matter of fact, there's a good amount of issues on the beta that I think that we're going to talk about. But first, let me go ahead and give you guys a little bit of an intro as to what DNF Duel is. A fighting game made by aiding an Arc System Works. I don't need to explain Arc System Works pedigree. Everybody knows who they are. They know that they don't miss generally. I guess maybe Grand Blue was a miss, but that's only a miss because of the rollback, right? They don't have rollback. They really don't miss. And then, of course, aiding, who took part in Tatsunoko versus Capcom, and then Marvel 3, right? Those are two legacy games known for just fun factor, and so that's where this game is coming from. Published by Nexon, who I hear is a publisher of a lot of like free to play games and stuff like that, which could be interesting for DNF's like release model. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but with all that being said, there's a lot to talk about in the game. Like I said, not all of it is good, and that's why today's stream is called, in honor of Auron, DNF Doo Doo? Is it? Who knows? DNF Duel or DNF Doo Doo? We'll decide today. But first things first, I want to go ahead and start us off right, show you guys a clip of where we are at with DNF, just to give you guys a quick little litmus so you have an idea of what sort of game that we're dealing with here. So if you could go ahead, take a look at this clip window, because my God. We're starting off with a grappler clip, right? A clip from the grappler. Take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are all flip kicks. 7, 8. This is a combo. 9. Oh, that's a true combo too. That number's still running up. I think I just lost count. They gotta be at 13, 14, 31. Oh, man, this is peak game design.
And there's no way.
This is DNF Duel, man. This is.
There's no, nothing. There's nothing that can get you out of this.
My God, it's still going. It's still going, guys.
That's 2 characters now that happened. That's 2.
I know.
That's crazy. And this is only the beta. It took no time to figure
Perfect KO. Oh my God. Look at the way Auron shaking his head. That is crazy. That is crazy. So look, guys, this is a beta. Admittedly, this is a beta, but shit like that definitely exists. Shit like that is real. Shit like that is happening to people out in those DNF Duel streets. I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. And it's the easiest. It's one of the easiest infinites I've ever seen. I've never seen some shit so easy. Just
back circle or something.
it's literally, I think it's back circle for the grappler after you get that combo off and you just slam them repeatedly. Free, what you thinking about that?
That's crazy, bro. And it's nothing to do that in that game. What was that, like 2 hits? And then he just continued. There's nothing to get that infinite off. Gotta see it through, my boy.
Gots to see it through, my boy. Or when you look at that as somebody that plays in tournaments and shit like that, right? When you look at that, what is your thought process?
Let me first start off by saying I love the Easter egg that they threw in about getting 69 hits. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's a play on that. It's the play of get fucked. Right? So,
man,
if I ever was to see something like this in tournament, I'm not just going to complain. I'm going to go to the head of the people that made this game, and I'm going to slap each one of them in a row. Okay, it just doesn't make sense to me. Right? And you know this, right? You know what I'm saying? Like this straight up, just all bitch slaps. You know what I'm saying?
You sound like dominoes falling.
It's crazy because we don't have a practice mode. And I'm sorry, I know we're going to get into this later, but it's just crazy to see that people are finding stuff like this without practice mode.
Hey, I got multiple clips today as we go through our subjects where you guys will be able to see the things that people have been able to do and find. Honestly, all of my clips today actually come from one person, right? So we're going to give them a shout out when we go back to the next clip. But I just wanted to set the stage, right? I wanted to let everybody know what we was dealing with DNF. Now that everybody knows what we're dealing with, we can actually start talking about the game itself, get into our opinions on everything. And I've kind of broken this down into a couple of different topics. Let's topic one talk about something that really is important and maybe the reason that everybody got into the game itself. The characters, the DNF Duel characters. Now, up until maybe like 2 weeks ago, we had nothing but what they had given us about a year ago with this game. There were like no trailers. We didn't have much. And then 2 weeks ago, we started to see just a berserker barrage of flood of trailers on their channel, right? Highlighting all the different characters that they had. I think they started with Berserker, gave us Striker, Grappler, Ranger, and some other, I forget the order that they went in, but they gave us a grand total of 10 trailers, right? And then of course announced that we were getting this beta this week. This has all happened in the course of 2 weeks. It's been going very fast. Right. And I think that the constant barrage of information that they gave us, especially these character trailers, just built up hype in a way that I haven't seen hype being built up for a fighting game. Like, this is very strange marketing to me. Like, most times they'll drop one, a company will drop one maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks on their lead up. You know, there's a slow release market window, like marketability window. They completely ignored that and just went in and showed us some of the wildest characters. So off rip, Auron, yeah, we'll start with you. Who's your favorite character in DNF Duel?
Oh my gosh. So my favorite character is going to be the main menu. You know, that's the one that's the most balanced. Just seems the most fair when you're playing the game.
So wait, the main menu that only has the online option is the best character.
Yeah. It's just the most fun when you boot up the game to be there. You know, you just hit the wheel a little bit. You know, you play with the wheel a little bit.
That main menu don't lose, man. The best matchups.
You're right.
No, but in all honesty, if I had to choose out of the 10 that's there, when it comes down to both the design and I guess also the gameplay, I enjoy Striker the most. I typically go for a lot of female characters. It just seems more interesting to me. If I'm playing a game for several hours, I like to watch a lot of ass on the on the screen. But
a man of culture.
You know? And then actually using her, it's fun because I feel like I'm not playing a range game. I like to be a rush down character. I like to do a lot of I like to apply a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
She's there for that.
She is definitely a pressure character. My God, Stryker is such a problem. One of the only characters that's just out there throwing hands in this wild, wild world of weapons and wizardry and all of that bullshit, right? The Stryker is out there along with the grappler just throwing some hands, but the Stryker is just built different, right? The Stryker will just keep you locked down, and not in an infinite sort of way, but it'll feel infinite when your health is just kind of depleting and then suddenly it's not there. You feel like you got caught in a loop that you just could not get out of. It's definitely rough. I do like Stryker. Free, your favorite? And I think I know the answer to this.
I actually mirror Auron. My favorite in the game is Stryker. She does these crazy chain link combos, as well as the she has this like weird, I think it's like a counter super now that I think about it. And I actually wanted to go back and actually lab it a little bit to like figure it out more. But once you get in, you're in with her. And I really love that about her. I'm like really interested in the rush down part of her character.
It's the rush down part of her character that you're interested in. That's all that you're interested. The rush down. Is that why you chose her?
That's the only reason I chose her.
That's it?
That's it.
You know, somehow, some way, I have a feeling that's cap.
That's cap.
That's cap. I don't know why. Just somehow, some way. I respect Auron for coming here on this platform as a guest and standing 10 toes down on his horniness. He said, I like to pick these characters because I like something to ogle at. And I'm sure that there's somebody... Yeah, okay, yeah, all right. He said, I like the pressure, I like the lockdown. I just mirror Auron. You ain't mentioned the yams, but you knew what it was. You knew what it was from the first trailer.
You knew it from the first time when she was kicking the punching bag and then they do the actual like close up. Why else did they do the close up?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they knew what they was doing too. Okay. Everybody, y'all all know what y'all doing, right? And at least Auron came here and stood 10 toes down on it. I know that there's somebody that's in the comment section that's like, oh man, look at these men ogling Stryker, being just nasty, just disgusting. But like I said, guys, they know what they was doing. The whole dev team knew what they was doing. The design team knew what they was doing. There are features on Stryker that are prominent. One of them being her ponytail, and the others being the faras, not us. You know,
I didn't think we had to mention it.
If you like updos, you can pick Stryker. If you like fat asses, you can pick Stryker. It's there for you. There's multiple things to like about her, right? Myself, personally, I'm a Kunoichi main. As of right now, I haven't actually had a chance to play around with all the characters the way I would want to, and there's a damn reason for that. But right now I'm liking Kunoichi. I love her design. I love her abilities. She feels like if Naruto had elves in it. And right now that just does it for me. Like there's even a point where she just starts busting out the hand signs. And I was just like, oh, she has a move where she summons Gamabunta. Right? It's the homie Gamabunta. And he throwing out flames. My boy Fire Flame spitting, doing his damn thing. So yeah, Kunoichi. But those are not like the only dope designs, right? Or the only dope character. I feel like every character just visually, just aesthetically is just great to look at. Dragon Knight's design is cool. Very and the little dragon next to her is a gold mine. Might as well print merch. Print that money, because
Inquisitor still has a great design also.
Inquisitor definitely has a great design. Crusader, Berserker. I think Berserker might be my least favorite design, but
it's mid when you compare it to the other people.
The other ones, yeah. When you compare it to other ones, especially people like Ranger who comes out there and he just gives you vibes like, yeah.
Yeah, he's
cool
very,
dude.
very saucy, man. It's funny you should mention Ranger. We got 2 Dantes in this game, guys.
Can we like break down what we mean by Dantes? Because
yes.
what
We got 2 Dantes, right?
I would say Hitman is more Virgil because he uses the katana than Dante. Is it Dante because he has white hair too? Virgil has white hair.
So here's the reason why I say Dantes, and I'm thinking from what I've seen on the internet why a bunch of people are saying Dantes. So everybody knows Ranger. They saying Dantes for Ranger because he's literally Dante from DMC5 with the fedora and the weird stylish Michael Jackson-esque movements. But on top of that, he literally takes from Dante's designs in the previous aiding games. He has Dante's, I believe it's Rainstorm, the jump spin from Marvel 3. That is Dante's exact move, right? And that's aiding doing a little shout out. They knew what they was doing by throwing that in because they knew that this character was very Dante-esque when they put him there, especially DMC5 Dante, right? With the, like I said, the fedora and the weird dancing and being not as cool as you think you are. I'm sorry. I don't want to be that person, but DMC5 Dante and the Ranger are not as cool as they think they are. I think they're lame.
And I got into an argument with MGJ about that. I was like, Dante is kind of corny.
He's just corny, bro. Kind of corny, honestly.
Bro,
he very 90s cool, right? Like what niggas thought was cool in the 90s, right? Like the red leather jacket and the white hair, and I like pizza, and
it's crazy. Like he's kind of corny, bro.
Like, he's very 90s cool, but we're in 2021, right? Like that was 30 years ago, I think, at this point.
Y'all ain't gotta come out swinging like that. I hope y'all know that. Y'all ain't gotta be swinging like that.
Now,
y'all box.
Now we have our second Dante.
He's kind of corny, bro.
Our second Dante is less corny though, right? I feel like our second Dante is less corny. This is the Dante, the serious Dante, cool factor. And I say Dante because DMC2. He gives me big DMC2 vibes, and that's the one that everybody hated, right? DMC2. But that was also the one where Dante had submachine guns that he could use.
This is true.
And it made me very much feel like I was playing that game. Now, he also does have a stinger, right? Which is something that Dante has in the aiding games, Hitman. So they're both Dantes, bro. I think that they're both actual Dantes. When you come and play the game and you say, oh, I'm going to pick Dante, you kind of have to specify which Dante.
Dante. Okay.
Cool Dante or corny Dante? I think that's how we're going
to... I don't think it's necessarily a cool or a corny. I think that we are now adults, right? So you have the Dante where you were younger, you were like, man, this thing is really cool. And to us older people, we're like, man, that shit's super corny, right? And then as we got older, we vibe with the more mature Dante. So I think it's just a younger Dante versus the mature Dante.
You know what?
Say it's corny like that.
I can definitely appreciate that. You know what, Auron, you right. This is what you hear right now, the voice of reason. Because honestly, bro,
gonna say corny.
When I was young, I was just gonna say corny because
I was gonna say corny.
I was gonna say corny, bro. But when I was younger, I did sort of like. I guess I did sort of feel like I like pizza, Dante. I like pizza too, Dante. Like
pizza, Dante.
Like red is a cool color.
Bro, pizza Dante's kind of.
When I was younger, I did like pizza.
You got older, you got more mature. You see something a little bit different now.
You do. You're looking at it through fresh eyes.
Virgil was pretty dope.
He is. He is.
Oh, but before you was really vibing with Dante first, right?
That's true.
Yeah. See, I'm just saying it's young versus mature. I'm just saying, bro.
I see you.
From a different perspective.
I get it now. I get it now. You've opened my eyes. With that being said, I just think that all of the DNF Duel characters are absolutely dope. All of them are very unique as far as design wise. There are some people that will complain about the gameplay of them and how some of them feel homogenized, but we'll talk about that in a bit when we start talking about gameplay. But character wise, character design wise, I feel like they knocked it out of the park, and that is the best thing about this fighting game. And it's the best thing about this fighting game, to the point where, like, guys, have y'all considered, like, just for a little bit downloading that DFO game? Because I was looking, I was like, if that's the source material, I'll probably give it like a couple of minutes in the future at some point. And I think that's the whole point of this game existing, right? Like, you look at these characters and you're like, do I want to actually go over to the real game?
Wait, you talking about their actual game, the actual Dungeon Fighters game?
The actual Dungeon Fighter game. It made me, looking at these character designs, made me consider going over there and playing them, because I saw these character designs. I knew nothing about DFO. So then I went over to their website to see what they rocking with. I looked at all the character designs for all of their classes. First of all, what we have in this beta is just the tip of the iceberg as far as their classes go, as far as the designs go. Like, there are way cooler designs still out there, just not in the game yet, guys. So so like, I did, no lie, consider at some point, like, do I want to try this out? I might. I haven't yet, right? But I might. It made me consider it at the very least. Would you guys consider it, looking at the character designs? Is it your aesthetic? Is it your style?
I would, like, just to, like, pick it up, just to look at it. I don't know if it's, like, my type of game. It looked kind of League of Legends-y to me. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but it just, the whole sprites and everything kind of like threw me off.
Right.
I mean, based on just the character designs, I'd probably take a look at it. I do think they have a very good basis behind how they create their characters. Like, all their characters had something different about them and made them unique, made them catch your eye based on how you play, you know, what kind of player you are, things like that. So
they're
I guess
so unique
based on
that they didn't even need to give them names.
Yeah.
They're so unique that they didn't need to give him names. Like, they just said, this is a grappler. He looks like a grappler, don't he?
Occupations, really.
Yeah, like, this is a Dragon Knight, and she looks like the coolest Dragon Knight, right? Yeah, right. And you know what's interesting, though? We're just seeing one of the designs that they have for these classes. If you go to their website, they have 3 different designs for each class. There are 3 different strikers, 3 different female strikers. They chose the 3rd design. There are 3 different for everybody. There's hitmen that look different. There's grapplers that look totally different. Like, they could put in skins in this game if they wanted to.
I'm hoping that they do.
Yeah, I do too. That would be really, really cool. Now, remember, guys, earlier in this stream, we were just talking about how the fact that there's no training mode. Wow. Take a look at this. Instant overhead. Look at the juggle.
Figure that out, bro.
Into the super. What? What? How? There's no training mode. If I get caught with that online, I'm in a beta. It's been out 2 days. How are you doing that? My God. Oh my God, guys. Let's move on to the second subject. The gameplay. Now, when you look at clips like that, right? That gameplay, that is fucking dope. Shit like that is so fucking dope. I heard them say that the game has no mix, the game has no sauce. I'm seeing sauce. And I'm seeing some mix when it comes to Kunoichi. I'm also seeing some mix when it comes to strikers. I think certain characters have mix and others don't, and that's the way that all fighting games work generally, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But the game that they created here, I think, is very, very fun. The cool visuals, along with the great animations that it looks like they've put the entire foot in. They put a whole lot of time into these animations and making sure that these look right. The way that they've taken moves directly from the source material game and put them here, it's actually really, really cool. Last time I seen something like that was maybe Grand Blue, right? But this almost feels like to a greater scale, and that really, really helps the game. Even with all the issues, and there are issues that we'll get to, the gameplay is enough to make me want to say, I'm gonna play the game. But there are definitely caveats to that, because I don't know that in its current state, and this is just a beta, right? But I don't know that in its current state, this is something that is even viable to be played competitively. It feels like, I think the term is kusoge. It's a Japanese term that they use a lot for fighting games, which means shitty game that I enjoy playing.
Wow.
And that is kind of the vibe that I'm getting from DNF Duel. Shitty game that I really enjoy playing. Like, I want to play it right now as we're talking about it, but there's just some shit that's just like, what? Why?
That's hilarious to me.
Like, why is that a thing? How does that work? But then you get certain characters and you watch them do stuff that you're just like, man, I want to learn how to do it. I just wish there was a lab. I just wish there was a lab where we could get this figured out. But at the same time, I will admit that there are things that need to be fixed, and I'm wondering if they are going to fix them, right? That first Strive beta, I didn't participate in. I just heard that everybody was saying like, yo, Soul is busted, right? And everybody said, don't worry, it's a beta. Soul will be taken care of and fixed by the time the game comes out. When did Strive come out?
I think
April or May, one of those two, right? It's been at least half a year, and Soul is still ridiculous, right? And especially upon release, he was even more ridiculous. They didn't change him at all from the beta. Is Arcsys going to keep that same energy for DNF Duel? If they do, I don't know about this big game being competitive. What would you think, Free, about the DNF gameplay?
Nah, if they keep the game as it is right now, nah, this is gonna be like a niche type of community where like a couple people play it to have a little bit of fun, because the game is heavily unbalanced. It's not meant for certain characters. Even though those certain characters are hella cool to play with, it's definitely not meant for them to be in this game. They just don't have enough going for them. So unless they fix some stuff, balance some stuff out, I don't see. Maybe I would say more if there was a lab, but that wasn't there. So
I feel you. It almost feels to me like old school Guilty Gear design, when, like, remember in old school Guilty Gear, and now today sort of to the same extent, but not as like as going as far, but like every character had something that was absolute bullshit. Every character had their own gimmick, and everything that character did, if you look at it in a vacuum, you're like, that's fucking broken, right? Like if you're looking at it in a vacuum, and I strongly get that feeling with DNF Duel. Like, looking at it, every character does things that are fucking broken, but the things that are broken in DNF Duel sometimes literally look like they should not be capable of happening, right? And the Crusader, which we'll actually get to right after this section, the Crusader is like public enemy number one with that bullshit, The Crusader is just dumb, and we'll show you why. Auron, what are you thinking about the gameplay of DNF Duel?
So the gameplay, it has a lot of potential, right? You see some really dope combos. You see that they put a lot of they put a lot into the certain animations for certain characters. It's wonderful to see. However, when you actually get down to the basis of the gameplay, it's trash, right? So, and the reason I say this is because there is a lack of overheads for a lot of characters. The MP usage on the game is dog shit, right? For certain characters, you can tell that they definitely focus more on others, preferably, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the matchup basis, it's definitely a matchup game, and I don't like games that are based on matchup. I would like to sit next to somebody and be like, I'm playing this person. I'm not playing the game and the person, right?
Right.
I don't like that. That's not going to help you in a competitive scene. So if they're making a game that's meant to be casual, meant to be fun, that's absolutely fine. But that's not how FGC is set up. They try to make everything competitive. That's just what we do. That's what's in our blood. And this game is not that.
And I get what you're saying, right? The FGC does try to make everything competitive. I mean, you got stuff like Tough Love Arena that's out there that obviously looks like it should not be a competitive game, and people go ahead and try to make it competitive. I think that is something that is definitely going to be true here for DNF Duel. I'm not going to say that there's not going to be a competitive scene, that there won't be tournaments ran, that there won't be pro players, people that are really, really good at it, and people that take it seriously. Though I think that it's just going to be hard to do that with and like comfortably put a bunch of money and shit on the line when some of the mechanics and things like that are so wild and crazy, right? Everybody has what's called an awakening skill, right? And the awakening skills do different things for different people. The awakening skills for Berserker, right, basically turns him into like a vampire. If he hits you, he gets health back from it, right? And toward the end of a fight, when you're trying to, defend yourself and trying to win and everything, him hitting you as hard as he does, because he hits like a giant Mack truck and he gets health back, makes it near impossible to beat him without just saying, hey, I'm just gonna not get hit at all, right? And I've been offered that advice in fighting games before, like, hey, do you want to win, kid? Well, just don't get hit. Like, it's the best advice there is, right? It's good advice, just don't get hit. But it's very difficult when the game is built like this with the moves that it's built for. And it's just rough. Let me really quickly just pull up an example of some awakening skills for you guys to see what we're dealing with. Here we have one. We have the Berserker again. The Berserker's awakening skill, you see it at the bottom left of the screen there. Thirst recovers HP depending on damage inflicted. And the damage that he can inflict in literally one hit is, it looked like, I was playing last night and I swear I got like a fourth of my health bar chopped off in one hit from him. No bullshit. I got caught with a combo and I lost over half my health, and not even a long combo. I was fighting actually Bang. Once he is in awakening, you have to finish him off or you die immediately, pretty much. If he catches you in one combo, the fight is now even. And that's crazy. But then we see something like the Inquisitor here, right? Hers is Cold-Hearted Inquisitor. MP recovery after using an MP move begins sooner. And that's wild for the Inquisitor, because if the Inquisitor catches you in a corner, uses the wheel, puts the holy water on you, wheels again, and then supers, they're always going to have MP to do that.
Game was not thought of to They didn't think this one through too much, huh?
Here we have the striker, right? The striker has an awakening called Power Fist, increases attack and minimum damage per attack, which means, and this is not the worst one, right? When she gets to awakening, she just starts to hit harder, right? That's just it. But even then, when you think about how her character is lockdown pressure, when you think about how she's designed to make it so that you can't move, giving her that damage boost is basically just saying, yo, kill her right now. And every character has a bunch of wild shit like that. Like a bunch of wild shit like that. I'm wondering, like, is this gonna be something that people are gonna be able to gravitate toward, as wacky as it is? Because it's definitely wacky. But you also have people that argue that these are the equivalent to comeback mechanics, right? And instead of having one universal comeback mechanic like Tekken has Rage or Dragon Ball has Sparking, everybody has their own different comeback mechanic tied to their own character. That is cool when you look at it like that, but is that going to be good for balance?
Chaotic though? Like, isn't that more chaotic if we all have the different comeback mechanics?
I think that's what they want, though.
But that's the problem. So that it leads back to what we were just talking about with this being a game that you're now doing matchups. It's character matchups, and you have to play against the player. Like there's, like you just said in Tekken, everybody has the same thing. So you can, flat out when you play a character, if this character is going to be good or if this character is going to be bad. All you're doing at that point in time is playing the player. It doesn't even matter. Like Katarina's considered to be one of the worst characters on the game. She's winning tournament because players are playing the player. In this game, with everything being so different, with those awakening powers being so different, so it causes so much catastrophic like issues when it, like I just said, when it comes to MP usage with certain characters, or the factor that Berserker getting back all that health, Ranger being able to do all these different kinds of loops and combos with
and
setup.
Debuffs. I believe he debuffs.
Exactly. It's so much that's going on. You're not playing just the game against this player anymore. That's I don't know. That's just the way I see it.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that, bro. There's a lot to remember then, because like you said, it now becomes, okay, this guy does this against this person. That means I should probably play this person because I have a good, I have a good time of a good chance of winning because I know that this goes against that well.
This ability directly works against this person's ability or something like that in the third. Like how you do when you play Pokemon or something like that, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh, he sent out a Charizard. All right, well, the Squirtle is about to come out then.
Right.
You feel me? All right, so he sent out a character, the Ranger, who inflicts a debuff, right? Well, then if you inflict a debuff, I would then, in my mind, probably pick the Crusader, who gives me increased defense, guard break resistance, and white damage recovery speed when I go into my awakening, right? So if it comes down to both of us look like we about to kill each other, you're Ranger and I'm Crusader, I'm literally counteracting your ability with my ability type of shit. And that's the type of shit you're going to need to think about when you're facing people in this game. And if you don't think about it, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage, right? So like you say, matchups are super duper important. But don't get me wrong, the game is super fun. I enjoyed the gameplay that I was able to have, right? Like that I did play. Did you feel like the game was fun, Free?
I enjoyed the hell out of the game, but it was easy to see that this is not a fun time to be had a lot of the time. You was there in that match when it was me versus a Berserker, and he was easily able to zone me out. And there's a lot of that goes on with the game. It goes back to the matchup again. I'm sorry, but it goes back to that. There's a lot of like, okay, I want to play this character and I want to enjoy this, but this guy can do this if I pick that person, and it does tamper with your time of having fun.
Fun but frustrating, right? But in my mind, I think that as part of the FGC, a certain amount of frustration in your fun is expected, because it just the nature of FGC. Somebody wins, somebody loses, and losing can be frustrating, right? So you got to take a little bit of frustration with your fun, but you do think that it is fun.
Yeah.
Do you think it is $60 fun?
No, I don't know if I do. Yeah,
At this point, you're not sure if it's $60 fun.
I don't know, bro. Maybe like a $40 fun. I don't know if it's 60 because it's a lot to get around. It is.
Or is it fun? Did you have fun when you played? Because you this might be an interesting answer.
Oh, did I have fun playing the game? Oh man. You know, it's like that meme where everybody's like, we're supposed to be getting this, and then at the very end is that one dude who's like, we're supposed to be doing this? Yeah, no, that's how I feel. I'm supposed to be having fun?
You guys are having fun? You guys
Like,
got paid?
You guys got
Yeah,
paid.
like, come on, bro. Like, it's cool to be able to enjoy games with my friends and community, but this game itself, no, it's not fun. Like, I didn't see myself enjoying the game. Like, and that's me saying that as a person that's in the FGC. I love being able to play fighters or any kind of fighting game, and I'll pick up anything. When I picked this up, the first like 3 or 4 matches, I instantly knew this is not it for me. Not to say that somebody else won't enjoy it and other people won't enjoy it, but me personally, it's just not one of those games that I like. There's just too many things that's wrong with it. Too many of the fundamentals that I normally see missing from an FGC or fighting game. It's just.
It is a beta, though. It is a beta, and we'll talk about that in a second. It is for the first beta, so we'll talk about that in a second. Now, I asked Free Reign, I said, is it fun? And then I said, is it $60 worth of fun? Because he said yes. I got to ask you. I asked you, is it fun? You said no. If everybody is getting into it, what's the max that you drop to play this game with your friends?
I will drop a whole GoFundMe for this, and otherwise they can get that shit out of here. Is it free to play? If it's not free to play, I probably won't download it. If it is free to play, how much space does it take up? That is super important. Man.
Yo, you a savage! Oh shit! So look, here's my thing. I had a lot of fun with the game, right? I did very much enjoy myself, and I would definitely say that I'd pay 60, right? And here's why. And here's why I'd pay 60 for this title once they get certain things figured out. Because the things I'm gonna say in this next section, the way I'm gonna tear into this game, y'all gonna be like, he was just saying that he would pay $60 and he was having fun. So y'all, the way I go into this game in the next section, y'all gonna be like, huh? But let me explain. From what I'm seeing from the game is very, very fun, right? My friends, for the most part, are also very much enjoying it, right? So that's very important. I really like the designs. I like that they have not skimped on the amount of characters that they are looking to give us. I like that the animations are very, very polished. We have things like the old school Guilty Gear super instant kills, right? Like, but we have it here and it's not in Strive, right? Like, we have those animations, cool super shit to look at. There's just, I think, a lot to like. It's very unique in what it's trying to do as opposed to other fighting games, right? And so I definitely give them 60 to support this, to say, hey, keep working on this, keep at shit like this, and keep bringing us kind of weird new fighting games, because new fighting games energize this community more than I've seen with, and this is just me personally, right? But in the last few weeks, seeing everybody energized for Project L and then the hype that came for DNF Duel, you just don't get that same hype when they announce a new title in a series that's been around for a very long time. It's a different beast, right? Everybody knows what to expect when Guilty Gear comes out. They announce Strive and they're like, okay, cool, I'm getting more Guilty Gear. I love Guilty Gear. I'm excited to play more Guilty Gear. They said, we're giving you a fighting game for DNF Online. And we said, the fuck is that?
Yep.
What?
Sure.
And then we looked it up and we said, oh, these characters look really cool. And then they kept dropping trailers and we were like, oh. And like you don't get that feeling from a lot of older titles coming up with new games. And so at this point, I think I would want to support the cause for that reason. But there are things that they are going to have to get together because I am about to rip this beta a new asshole. I am about to rip this beta a new asshole. So I will say this. I will say, yes, this is good. I will say, yes, I'd likely pay $60 for it. But you are about to hear some criticisms that I'm going to get a little heated about because I got very frustrated this weekend. Just don't hold it against me, guys. Don't hold it against me.
Fair.
Hey, bitch, you better praise God or I'm a shooting. That's on God. I ain't playing by my Lord and Savior.
Bro,
I'm on my
that
job.
is near
If you ain't
and
a Christian, I'ma
infinite.
stab you in the face. If it ain't about Jesus, I'ma hit you with this cane.
Look at that. He creates his own wall and just keeps you
Hell yeah,
there.
praise Jesus Christ, nigga.
Oh my God, guys. The DNF Duel Beta issues.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go last because Free knows I got some opinion. We sat here and talked about this yesterday a little bit, and he heard how frustrated I was, how angry I was. So we're gonna let you start off, Free. Let us let us know how you felt about the beta itself and how this beta went.
Bro, this has to be the worst beta I've participated in. This is mostly just honestly just the company saying play our game. Like literally that's it. Just play our game. We're not gonna give you anything that you need. We're not gonna give you any way to actually connect with your friends. We want to fight. We're giving you a fighting game. Go online and fight people. There's no, oh, it might be you and your homie over at the crib and y'all pull up a local, offline type of thing. No, it's you're online, fight your friends. No, fight people. If you want to try and find your friends, that's a whole nother story and a whole nother frustration. But everything went wrong with this beta, bro. Then they have this weird part where it's like you won't be able to fight anybody, but we'll let you play the game. So we'll just throw random characters at you. Okay, you want to play Striker? Fuck you. We're playing Dragon Knight now, and you have to fight Grappler, and you have to do it. It wasn't a fun time until you're actually playing the game. Trying to set up the game, terrible. Okay.
That's a quick way to put it. And you know what's wild? He said it was terrible, and I still feel like he put it the nice way. He said it was terrible, and I still feel like he put it the nice way. I think that Auron is gonna not be as nice. So Auron, will you go ahead and share your opinions on this beta?
All right, so check it out. Listen, because I'm not, I want to be honest about it, but at the same time, I do agree with you a lot, Free, on a lot of things. It's still a beta, and I'm keeping that in mind. However, it was a beta that was implemented just severely wrong. I feel like they tried to push out something way too fast. And that kind of goes back to the factor that they had all of these trailers come out so quickly. And then they put this online out really quickly. When they put out the online, they didn't account for how many people want to download it. Absolutely fine, understandable. But if you do not give us something to do in the midst of you fixing the online servers, that doesn't make sense to me. And what you did was you gave us random selection to play against a CPU. And when I mean random selection, I mean fucking random selection. You just put us in a match with whoever the fuck you want, and we just have to play from there. That makes absolutely no sense to me. Give us a training mode. Like, make it easier on yourself. You know that everybody's going to want to play this game that you done hyped up. You know that the servers are going to crash because of that. Give us something else to do in the meantime. Do something. And then the factor that it's so hard to get to play with your friends. Like, it's fine that you want us to play online. You want to see how the servers run. You want people to use these different characters, play against their friends. How can I play against my friends if you don't give me the option to look for my friend? Right? And then again, it's just so much mismanagement when it came to the actual game itself. Like, you could have thought so much deeper than trying to push something out. Like, people are going to play your game. Take your time with it. Don't just give us a bunch of dog shit to play in the midst that you're going to make people pull up on the game, because I'm not giving you $60.
It's not a good impression, and you want to leave a good impression for your first impression, right? Like,
it just. I played a lot of fighting games, guys. This one is definitely taking the cake on being the shittiest presented.
Whew, that is rough, but as far as this beta goes, I can't argue too much about what was said. Now, I got a question for you guys, right? Because I think that you're gonna see where I'm coming from, right? Do you guys know where beta comes from? Beta is a letter in the Greek alphabet, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what number letter is beta in the Greek alphabet? Like, what comes before beta? An alpha, right?
All right. Yeah,
An alpha comes before a beta, right?
Yeah.
Right.
The same way 1 comes before 2.
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck did they just go to 2? Why the fuck did you just go to the beta? This is a fucking alpha. Don't fucking lie to me. See, you just using words like you don't know what the fuck they mean. You just using words like you don't know what the fuck they mean. This is not a fucking beta. This is a fucking alpha. You did not give us any fucking thing to fucking do. You gave us no agency. You gave us no control over the way that we go ahead and play this. I get that you do not want to give us the full game. Shit, I get that you might not even want to give us a full-blown demo of the game. But if that is the case, then watch your wording. If that is the case, don't tell me that this is a beta, because games come out in beta all the time with training modes. And look, I get it. Strive, DBFZ, like I think Grand Blue, these are all things that I've heard, because this is the first beta that I've participated in. All things that I've heard that did not have these training modes and things that people would want. Just because those games did beta shittily does not mean that you have to do beta shittily. You came after they did. You seen the criticisms that they got. You do not have to do the same thing. You can be better. You can choose to be better, or at the very least, if you're not gonna choose to be better, don't say that this is a beta. There is no lobbies. You cannot invite people to your lobby. There's no inviting your friends. So you can't do that. So you can't do lobbies like that. There's no lab. So no training. Now that's crazy enough, right? No training? That's absolutely insane. Where the fuck do you get off releasing a beta with no training mode? Where the fuck do you get off challenging King of Fighters and their beta not even having the amenities that they have in their beta? You called them out half-assed.
Yeah.
Word.
You called them out half-assed. What the fuck, right? And it would be one thing It would be one thing if you did not just if you just didn't give us a lab. Like that's dumb. That's stupid. That is the worst. That is the worst. But I think what's even more egregious, you didn't give us any goddamn command list. We can't look at what our characters' moves are. You gotta go in and press buttons. Whose music just said, I know that's right? Because I feel validated. I feel validated. Somebody music just, I know that's right. It's so... Bro. Bro, you didn't give us a command list. And what's wild is the command list exists. These niggas got us playing fighting game Destiny, where if you want the codex, you got to go to the website. you want the lore information, you got to go to their website to figure out what the fuck is going on. Right? You can't just there's no command list.
That's so different, bro. I've never seen that.
Not in a fighting game, you don't have a command list for us, guys. And I get that it's simple commands, right? But even then, I would love to know what my moves are called. You know, you can get an idea of what to do with your moves if you know what it's called. If it's called high kick, I'm not going to hit it thinking it's going to do something low. You get what I'm saying? It's called high kick.
No, when the first night that I played the beta, when it was just the random CPUs, I'm doing quarter circle forward inputs. I was doing those, and then later on, I got to look at the command list, and it's forward X.
Well, what's interesting is, according to their command list, the quarter circles and the DP inputs, those exist. Those exist in the game. But because we have no lab, and because there's no, like, nothing that explains any sort of mechanics, there are no tutorials that explain any mechanics, because that is a problem, we have no idea what the benefit of using the normal commands are, right? In Smash, if you pick a fighting game character, they have simple commands, but if you use your normal commands, you get a bonus, you get a buff, you get something that helps you out. Is that true here? Do you have the normal commands just because? Like, what are you, like, what's going on? See, even my dog get hype. Like, oh, my God, bro. It's so ridiculous. And then, like you say, the servers are not working, right? Absolutely understandable. That's maybe the one thing in this beta that I cannot fault you on. There's a lot of people, there was a lot of excitement for it, maybe more than you thought there was going to be, and so the servers didn't work right. But at least have a lab so that I could play and check out your game. And then if you're going to not have a lab, right? If you're not going to have a lab and you're going to say, all right, well, just play against computers.
Have a character select screen.
Why can't I pick the character that I am playing? This was not even a beta. This was an alpha. This was not even a beta. Why are you lying? Why are you just using fucking buzzwords? I heard it somewhere. I heard it on the internet. Gaming industry, they say the word beta all the time. So this is a beta. Like, come on now. This was not a fucking beta. King of Fighters has a beta, right? King of Fighters testing is actually testing some things out. We have no idea how to do anything really. You're just dependent on people just finding out all your tech and shit and all your stuff with no lab and all of that on playing like it's old school in the arcade, right? But the thing about those old school arcade games, when you go and you play something like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, we was just watching a video earlier today called "You Want to Learn How to Do a Fucking Infinite?" Because fucking infinites exist in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You want to know why fucking infinites exist in Marvel vs. Capcom 2? Because they didn't have things like betas to try shit out to see if shit fucking worked. They just released the fucking title like you did, and now people are getting grappler looped. Like, what the fuck? Like what the hell?
That's no cap though. That's real shit.
Real talk.
Do they not have a lab at their office? Because that loop is not even a hard loop.
It's not.
You hit the same button over and over again, infinitely, 69 times. 69 times.
69 times.
So, and see, this is why I was like, yo, if you hear me talk in this section versus when you hear me talk in the last section, you would think I'm talking about two completely different games, because you did gameplay great, you did a rollback great, right? Like, rollback worked well. Internet connection was not bad once I got in. I mean, we did definitely drop, but I'd say that's server issues more so than.
We did have some issues with a couple of them matches.
I mean, yeah, right, but we have an issue with a couple of matches on Guilty Gear Strive, and that's agreed to have the best rollback in the game right now.
Amen.
Right, and that is not even always completely perfect, right? I don't expect this game to be completely perfect, and I don't want anybody to get the impression that I expected this beta to be completely perfect, because I did not. But there's shit that I should not, before the beta came out, everybody said, I hope that there's a rollback. I hope that there's a rollback.
Yeah,
I hope that there's this. Nobody said, I hope there's a training mode, because everybody figured there was going to be a fucking training mode.
It's like obvious, dude.
I don't know, bro. Like, this shit was not a beta. It was an alpha, and I got a clip that I want to play, and it don't really have anything to do with the game. It's just how I'm feeling right now. This is a clip from the Joe Budden podcast. And this explains how I feel about this beta.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Do you hear what he said? Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I am here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. That shit stinks. That shit is garbage. Never release another beta like this, bruh. Because I'm not playing it if you release another beta like this. I jump into a beta and you don't have a training mode, I'm putting your fucking game down. Do you understand me? And I know that there's some people right now that's thinking, well, okay, good. Put the beta down. Nobody asked you. They don't need you to fucking play anyway, right? But yeah, I'm not the only one that feels like this, because the biggest fighting game commentator in the world played 30 minutes of DNF Duel. 30 minutes and dropped it because it had no training, right? Now, this is a person who's a large influencer, who when he streams has thousands of people listening to him, whose opinion holds weight in the FGC, and his opinion is, I'm not playing this shit without a training mode. And I guess that's where we at, right? You can lose me. My opinion means nothing as of right now, but fuck around and lose somebody like that. Fuck around and lose a bunch of people like that, especially because we eating good right now. Back in the day, you could do shit like this. We ain't have no choice. We the FGC. We don't eat. We just play games. We play the same game for 8 years. Street Fighter, Tekken. We're going on 5 years with Dragon Ball, right? We used to just kind of have to eat crow. We eating now. There are choices. Don't make me start choosing. You feel me? Don't make me start choosing. There are choices.
Yeah, we have.
Unless you're a 3D player. If you play 3D fighting games, you playing Tekken still. So, but that is it. So, like, I guess last thing I want to say about the beta. It could have been better. It was an alpha. And I hope that there's a second beta, the real beta.
Agreed.
With the things that we need before this game comes out. And that's what I'm gonna say in regards to that. Guys, that is fucking wild. That is fucking wild. And what I want to do here is, because we just went ahead, looked at that, we're getting to our last subject. Last subject is, I'm sorry, not the issues. DNF Fest info and trailers. So the Dungeon Fighter Festival was the 19th earlier today over in Korea. You know, time zones and shit. They're weird, right? They're weird. So that was earlier today. And they announced some things for the game, which I figured that they were going to do, right? I always knew that that was likely the goal if they were going to release this beta alpha this weekend, that they were going to give us some sort of release date information and give us some new information. And that they did. They did that in the form of a new trailer here. So just a second, let me go ahead and pull this up. Dragon Knight, new character. We got a new character.
Yeah, Virgil.
There you go, Striker doing her thing. All right, that's a new character. That is the one that we were just looking at. Ghostblade, I believe that is the class name. Vanguard. Crusader. Hidden Inquisitor.
Oh, that we have 11 characters now.
That's what I'm seeing so far. I want Hitman to be better. I wish he was.
Wow.
I felt like he wasn't as good as I thought he was gonna be.
Oh, you done missed out. After this, I'm gonna need you to go back and look at the Max recent VOD. So you can
Mac
see.
is Hitman?
Oh no, he was playing with his mod Chad, and Chad has been playing Hitman for a while.
Take a look at this,
he got
guys.
some nasty combos.
That's a new character. He's hitting, so that's a new character hitting another new character.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh, that's the priest.
Is that the priest or is that looks like Machinist?
Is it? Let me see.
But that's definitely a new character. Timeout.
You might be right.
So far 12. Wait, timeout. Was that a new character he was shooting?
No, that's the same new character though.
That was the same new character. So we're at 12.
That was 12. Yeah.
Which means they haven't blown their load completely.
So yeah, we might be getting a second beta with a whole nother cast of characters probably, and a training mode.
I mean, they have a bunch of characters that they can do. Look at that! I told you they was about to start printing money with that damn Dragon Knight pet. That's the reason that why they showed it at the end. That thing is free money. It's like when you're looking at Baby Yoda for the first time, you're like, man, oh man, they're about to just drain wallets. This is the interesting thing though. 2022 summer 2022, guys, which means likely in my mind we're actually gonna get a beta, right? In my mind, I'm thinking we actually get a beta, guys. I'm thinking this beta is likely gonna be around March. I'm thinking we'll likely get this beta around March with release likely May or June. Because you want it to be early summer. A fighting game you want to release early summer so you can catch the wave of those locals, right? You don't want to miss out on a bunch of locals. So I'm thinking by May, June, we should have our hands on this full game. And it gotta be better than this beta, UI wise and option wise, gameplay wise. Certain shit needs to be changed and balanced out, but other than that, it feels good. Just keep it as fun.
I'm hoping, bro, because we still got biking coming back, so that's gonna revitalize the GG community.
Oh yeah, and I don't think the GG community needs revitalizing right now, right? Like if you were looking at the numbers for CEO for the Twitch stream, 30K strong for Guilty Gear top 8, right? So Guilty Gear is doing numbers. Guilty Gear is actually the powerhouse in the FGC right now. I don't think anything is going to be able to dethrone Guilty Gear until we get a new Street Fighter, until we get a new Tekken, until we get these new legacy titles that'll get everybody excited again and get the casual excited. I don't think anything is dethroning Guilty Gear, especially as far as anime fighters goes. But DNF it'll be a fun side game, a fun party game. Punk the God has already declared it the party game of the year. So he said, I'll have a lot of fun. He said, this is definitely a party game. It's not a competitive game, but I like the party. That's what he said. That was the exact quote. He liked the party. Well, let's party then. But
I feel it though. I feel that.
I don't know if this is something that like I'm gonna play competitive. This is the type of shit where I'll play it and be like, guys, let's drink in Dungeon Fighter.
Yes, there we go. Drinking game. I was just about to thank you.
It's definitely a drinking game. You lose that round, you drink. And just trying to pull yourself out of that hole. I could do that. I could definitely do shit like that. But I definitely don't want to lose a tournament with like $1,000+ on the line in this game to some bullshit. I'd lose my mind.
Yep.
All right, guys, that was Raw Super episode 3. Unfortunately, we weren't able to film it live on the Twitch, but this will be going up on the YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, we're going to get the Raw Super YouTube channel up and running today, and you guys should be seeing this very soon, along with the other episodes of Raw Super and the Captain's Kumite from the tuning exams that will be going up as well. Raw Super is a brand, a collective, and a good time. Make sure that y'all come in hopefully every Sunday. We're gonna try to make sure that we can get this up. We're gonna have a bunch of different guests that are be lined up from the community today. We want to thank Auron for being here. I
appreciate y'all having me, man, and y'all got a good thing going here. Please keep it up.
Oh yeah, we definitely going. We 3 weeks in, right? They say it takes, what is it? How long does it take to build a habit? 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
That's true.
They say it take 3 weeks to build a habit. This is the 3rd week. Let's make this a habit. Cause I knew I woke up, I was a little tired. I said, but I got to do Raw Super.
Gotta do Raw Super.
Got to do it. All right, guys. Thank y'all for being here. Very much appreciated. We are Raw Super, and we are out.